Hello my soul family, welcome to today's spirituality retreat for this full moon in Leo in February 2022. My name is Christy Ramirez and I'm your health and wellness expert. So first of all, before we get started, this is a two-part event where we begin with our spiritual talk to talk about the energies, what's coming up with this moon cycle, and then we end with a brief Sambal healing session to cleanse our aura and close the healing process. But before that, I want to announce that I am officially now a master healer. I got my certificate last weekend and I can now perform Reiki healing. Now, this is something that is usually done in person, but I do want to offer my service to do some distant Reiki. So the way that this is going to work, it's going to be a meditation that we can do via telephone or Zoom, and we can also talk about what needs healing. I'm a very intuitive person, and bringing in my skills with soul coaching, I can really tap into what needs healing in a person, what chakra might be closed, what needs to be balanced, what also is going on in their life is going to dictate what needs healing in our physical body as well as our spiritual body, right? As well as emotional and mental. So I bring in all my skills together to give you the ultimate healing session. So if you want to book your healing session with me, please go to christyramirez.com/booking and I would be more than glad to get started with you. All right, so now that that's done with, let us talk about the energy for this full moon in Leo. This is a wonderful time, and this is actually a very potent time for manifestation, for these golden opportunities. I'm feeling a lot of gold, the Midas touch that we have right now. Luck is on our side because fate has aligned. The stars are aligned for your destiny in specific, whatever that is for you, whatever's in your path. God is opening the doors, and this is wonderful because we've been waiting a very long time for this. And Leo energy also represents our happiness. What's going to really make us happy? These dreams deep in our heart is what's going to make us happy. Now, I don't know about you, if any of you have a vision board. If you've had one for several years, I actually do have one and another one that we did together in my TV network last year. But I have one other one that is very special to me that I have always taken to me every time I moved homes. And it's carried around with me for 10 years. And I still look at it every day. It's like right in the front of where I'm always at. And I can tell you that some of those things on that vision board have been coming true, as if by a miracle too, because these are big dreams that just don't happen just like that. It requires work, but it also requires luck on a certain level. And of course, being that it's in your destiny. So the reason I'm bringing this up is because we're being asked to reflect on these dreams in our heart that we've almost like made a commitment or covenant with God for several years now. This is nothing new, nothing that's been like even 4 years and younger, but I'm talking about a long time in your heart. And of course it hasn't come true yet, because if not, you wouldn't even be here thinking about this. I'm talking about if these dreams have yet to come to pass, right? Maybe it's your dream relationship, maybe it's your dream career, maybe it's a specific goal, maybe it's the way that you feel, maybe it's something in your lifestyle, maybe it's related to your health and wellness. These are all dreams that we carry with us, right? It's about living our most high vibrational life, living our best life. And this is coming. This is what's being offered to us as an option. Now, we all have free will, and whether or not we are willing to take that option and do something about it, that's out of God's hands. That's all on us. And so we're being asked to reflect on this. Do you really want it? And how bad do you want it? That is something that's even very hardcore, right? God is being a little rough with us in putting us on the spot, putting pressure on us about changing our life. And this can feel, very overwhelming, but it can also feel stressful in a way, because especially if whatever it is that you're doing right now is a little far off this dream, maybe you've lost your way, maybe you've forgotten these goals or the motivation, right? Maybe this is something that you've lost, motivation. To be honest, this is something that many people have been struggling with, right, ever since 2020. But we're being asked to take back our power, take back our motivation, our inspiration of these dreams, these passions that when you're young, it feels like nothing can take that passion away from you, right? Because you have just this innate childlike nature, which is what we're also being called to return to. Again, the Leo energy is a very playful, youthful energy. And this is what we're all returning to. And I think it's funny. I don't think it's a synchronicity that, you know, I was actually thinking about this inner child healing that all of us have been working on healing, finally mending this broken heart. And many of you who have been doing the work already these past 2 to 3 years have mastered this finally. You know, I can say I'm one of them. I finally graduated from this inner child healing work that's been very hard to face, right? Because this is shadow work. And this is, again, the soul journey. And growing on your soul path spiritually is not about running away from these shadows that we all have. You know, take a look at when you're in the sun. Perfect example, because Leo is ruled by the sun. And when you're literally standing under the sun, it creates your own shadow, right? And this is the shadow that is actually being put to the spot, literally, because the sun is bright right now with the sun in Leo. Should I say with the moon in Leo, right? And I feel like this is all continuous until the sun in Leo, which is Leo season, which is July, August. So this is important right now because this is like a portal that is opening up for healing. Again, more healing, but this is another kind of healing now, right? And I don't think it's a coincidence that I also got my Master Healing Certificate, right? Because there's just like this other level of healing that's now going to happen. And this is why I'm saying this, because Leo, being the happiness sign, we're being asked that if we really want to be happy, we have to kind of clean the junk in our chakras. A lot of it has to do with solar plexus, right? Any fears, insecurities, because this is what solar plexus deals with. Self-worth issues, self-value, your own self-respect, your ability to set clear boundaries with others, even with yourself, right? Having a healthy balance between work and play. Also, leadership skills. If you're meant and being called into the leadership position, how can you turn it up a notch and step even higher? Rise into your fullest potential. That's another one. Courage and bravery to face these fears, to face these shadows. And you know what? Be willing to stand in front of our shadows and be able to smile and laugh at it, right? Because the reason why I'm saying this is because the world is made up of both light and dark. And this is something that's out of our control and we cannot change. No matter how much love and light we are, no matter how much in the light we are, we can't abolish the darkness. And remember, if we're to think now metaphysically and esoterically, the dark is nothing to be afraid of, because the light would be nothing without the dark. And so this is what's coming up. It's actually the yin and the yang, the black and the white. Having this healthy balance between knowing how to face our shadows, being okay with going into the dark, and still staying into our truth, not falling into fear, into anxiety because of fear, right? Anxiety stems from fear, mentally speaking, spiritually speaking, which we do talk a lot about in my therapy sessions, in my spiritual counseling TV network, which will resume this year. There's a lot of mental health topics that I speak about there and teach, obviously with my background in my psychology career, that I know is going to help to benefit us now more than ever during this season. So between now, which we are February 16th, 2022, all the way to the mid-end of August, I am getting, so that by September, I like to say that September is the purification month because it is Mother Mary's month along with May. So I think that we're going to get a little break in May from this intense healing that's happening right now, February, March, April, and it's the most intense healing because it's the initiatory phase. It's like the beginning stages of healing. When you're starting any program, anything new in your life, any new habit, right? It takes about 21 days to master it. 21 days is almost 3 weeks, right? So there's a power in the number 3. Body, mind, spirit, the Trinity, Father, Son, Holy Spirit. 3 months, right? 3 weeks. So 21 days to master a certain habit that's going to take you down for the next 90 days and then into your next even 9-month journey. I'm getting there's a 9-month cycle, right? Think about it. And if you pregnant women out there, maybe you're giving birth right now, you're like pregnant right now, but there's something that we're giving birth. So it could be project related, a new relationship as well. There is this 9-month cycle that will come to completion in 9 months. So we are February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, so November. And I'm getting 1111, which is the portal of 1111, the magical portal of miracles, right? Attracting our desires, universal potency. That's going to be the completion of what we're beginning today with this full moon in Leo. And this is going to bring a lot of joy for this new chapter in our life, which does begin in 2023. Remember that 2022, we're still under the metamorphosis. We're still transforming. But this is the ultimate transforming, like the peak of what we've begun doing in 2020. So that 2023, in my Lightworker University, the theme for next year is actually the kingdom of heaven. So next year, we're already living our heaven on earth. We have already stepped into the new chapter of our life. So in conclusion, this is a very powerful time for relationships, for new health habits, or experiencing our ultimate wellness, our ultimate career, our dream career, maybe moving into your dream place. These are all things that are happening. Now it's happening because guess what? We are stepping into this new world. And this new world is like literally right here. Remember that this new world is a high vibrational one. So we need to match that frequency, right? Leo energy is very high vibe. It's just very joyful. If you would know any Leos, you know that they are the party of the room, right? They are the life of the party. And they're always happy. They always seem to find the positive side to things. Just like the Taurus energy as well, right? So this positivity is actually what's going to be our saving grace. Is what's going to help us to get through any dark challenges that we might need to go through, right? Because this is a prerequisite. To get to the light, you must go through the dark. And it's nothing to be afraid of. It's nothing negative. It's just something that is part of the process. And it only makes you stronger in the process as well. You know, think of Jesus' story as well. You know, this is so interesting because in the book of Matthew, when he's being challenged and tempted 3 times, right, by the darkness, that's the shadow that he had to overcome in order to be able to ascend, to resurrect. This is the year of resurrection. And it's a very powerful word because this is not something that is just Easter time in April, although there is a synchronicity there, right? That this 3-month cycle that I just mentioned ends in April, which is around Easter season, because I feel like in Easter season, we're all going to be resurrected. There's a lot of happening, right? Ever since last year, we experienced the rebirth, then we experienced the reawakening, and now this year, at the first 6 months of this year, so I might be able to do another presentation to go more into detail about this, but I did explain in my latest Lightworker University presentation on a spectrum and on a large scale what 2022 was going to be about. In addition to the 3-day motivational speech that I did, that was a special event that we did. All of that explained what this whole year was going to be about. But I feel like now it's being broken down into 6 months and 6 months, just like it was last year. And these first 6 months is the resurrection specifically. Now there might be a part 2 the next 6 months, but I'm feeling more strongly for the first 6 months leading up to May, right? Because May is already summer, actually spring. It's the blossoming of flowers, and it is going to lead us into a very happy summer. So start making your vacation plans for summer because I do feel a lot of great vibes happening this summer. So that is a wonderful message today from our angels. I definitely want to bring in some oracle cards to go more into detail what needs healing. I have a few extra new decks as well that we're going to be using today, but I do want to begin with our angel messages, specifically with our power archangel messages, to give us more guidance on our mission, because this is what this year is about. And I do feel strongly that this Leo energy, with this full moon in Leo, is really tapping in a lot to our mission related energy. So these leadership skills, the bravery and the courage to set your own way, do something different, think outside the box. We are in Aquarius season as well, so it is tying in together, this Leo and Aquarius, giving us the courage to do something different. It's not rebellious, it's unconventional. And unconventional is good, because if you're following the crowd, you're never going to get anywhere new. So you need to have the courage to stand in your own truth, do what your intuition is guiding you, because our intuition is on fire during these moments. Leo energy is very intuitive as well, and it's that gut feeling that we get, which comes from our solar plexus. So all of this is being activated on a very high potent level. I've been feeling my solar plexus activated very strongly these past few days, and this is this Leo energy that's been building up, and I only think that it's going to get more intense, more stronger. So brace yourselves, because there's this new adventure that's coming in. I'm thinking like a roller coaster. We're literally rising to the peak, and it's like when you get the butterflies, right? Because you know that you're about to go down, but it's going to be the wildest ride of your life. That's the kind of suspense that I'm feeling right now, and this is beautiful because we all need this. I feel like a lot of us has lost that spark, and that's what creates stagnancy, right? That's what creates even depression and just like boredom, right? Because everything is just blank, everything's stale, everything is almost, what is that word, like barren. And we need to like reignite that flow, all of this water energy almost. And purification is going to help with this. Healthy high vibrational foods is going to help with that. And also spending time in the sun. I know that right now we're still in winter, but as soon as spring comes, spend as much time in the sun as you can. Get that vitamin D, and you know, don't worry about whatever is going on in the air, because when you put your energy and when your aura is vibrating high vibration, that's the only air element that you're going to step into. So let go of fear. That's what this Leo season is going to teach us right now. Let go of fear. Don't let outside and external fears dictate how you feel and your own fears. Decide to let them go and decide to be positive. Decide to see the best in those situations. Decide to believe in miracles. And if you have this mentality, I promise you that everything in your life is going to go good, right? You will never see a very positive person ever in a bad mood, because they just know that that's where they're meant to be. That's what they're meant to be experiencing, even if it's a challenge or a struggle. Embrace that struggle, because it is not only going to make you stronger, but you know that something good's coming, right? Because after every challenge, after every struggle is the celebration and the happiness, the joy, the peace even. And so this is what we need to look forward to, and just see life through a different lens. That's a good one, right? Shift our perspective, our mindset about whatever it is that is triggering us. Because believe it or not, triggers also come from the solar plexus. Anger can come from the liver, which is related to the solar plexus. If you're dealing with anger, if you're dealing with moodiness, frustration, if you're lashing out at people irrationally, this is where you need to look at your internal belief system, your philosophy, and even your perspective, so that you may not overreact, but just respond with love, respond with compassion, patience, and if anything, just silence. Because we need to reach a space of healing that nothing can touch you, nothing can bother you, nothing can disturb your peace. It's like literally imagine that there is a door in front of you, and this is the door to your internal self, right? Because we all wear a mask, we all live in a flesh body, right? That's our ego self that we present to the world. But there's always a door, a large wooden door. And people always ask you if they can come in, right? They shake your hand. When you open the doorknob, you're using the hand, right? But it doesn't mean that they're going to be able to go inside, because it might be locked, right? Or it might be open if you're very open. But we need to learn how to set boundaries, which is what this Leo energy is teaching us, and determine who can come in and who can't. And obviously many strangers are not going to be able to go into your aura, so hence they can't trigger you. You're not allowing that energy to disturb what's going on within, right? And that's what I'm talking about. You decide how you're gonna feel. You don't let others decide for you. And yeah, that's kind of like the message here. You determine who's gonna go into your life, who's gonna disturb your peace, and you determine your state of mind, your state of being. So just be in the moment, learn to embrace your presence, and you determine how that vibration is going to feel. And that's all on you. That's up to no one. You can be in a crowd full of negative people and you can still be in your peace, right? And that's what I'm talking about here. And this takes a lot of mastery, trust me, because if you're still weak spiritually, then you will be influenced by outside energies. You will be even insecure or doubtful. That will just dissipate your aura shield, and you'll fall into that trap of kind of blending in with the energies around you, which could be anxiety, fear, negativity, etc., right? So if you build a strong shield, which this is our boundary, this door that's locked, being very discerning who can come in and who can't. And I'm not saying who you can have a conversation with, I'm just talking about who can really get into your soul, right? Because you could have many conversations with strangers, doesn't mean they get to know who the real you is, right? And so that's what I'm saying. You need to be very, very discerning during these moments, because we need to protect our peace, our positivity, and our mission, what we're meant to do. God has given us a big mission, a big responsibility, and it's up to us to follow through. And we need to do this with bravery, with honor, with commitment, just like being in the military would, right? You take an oath before the chief, before the military. We're taking an oath before God, and we're reconfirming that yes, we are all in for this mission, for the long haul, not just for now, but forever, for eternity, for the rest of this life. So we need to focus and just do it. That's the Leo energy, right? Just do it, like Nike says. So let's bring in our oracle reading. I'll be right back. I'm going to set up my table and just take a break. All right, so we are back. And interesting, the theme I came up with for today's oracle reading is a lot of past life healing. This is what's coming up. Past life healing, past traumas from even this life, right? Hence childhood wounds and patterns that need to be severed, patterns that need to be shifted. So this is important because this is what perhaps might be stopping our success, blocking love, maybe even distracting us from staying in our power. So distractions, right? How can we stay focused amidst distractions? Because this is something that is a daily theme that people struggle. And you don't want that to disturb your mission focus, right? And being with the right partner, your spiritual half, right? All of these things require a lot of discipline, which is what Leo does teach in a way, because in order to be in your leadership position, you need to know the quality of discipline, right? Because there's just no way that you're going to be able to survive in a leadership position without discipline. So this is something that's definitely coming up. So let us ask our archangels today to give us some messages about how we can own our power, step more into our leadership position, and showcase to the world that we are workers of light. And the world needs this. The world needs us to shine brighter. Okay, these messages. Yeah, there's a lot of heart chakra healing that's still going on. We got the King of Raphael. Archangel Raphael is the healer of hearts. And it is raining right now, so this could bring up tears. It could bring up a lot of a heavy heart feeling. Maybe some of you are grieving as well. And this is something that needs to be healed, because you can't keep this pattern on forever. You know, there's a point where grievance is healthy, and then when it becomes unhealthy, right? When it's prolonged to the process, there is a process to the grievance. I know the reason I'm bringing this up is because this is what's coming up. I got I heard a message earlier. I am clairaudient, which my healer teacher, when I was getting the certificate, told me I had a skill. It's one of my skills, because I also have clairsentience and claircognizance, which is when you feel, right? And clairsentience. And clairvoyant, I am still working on, but I get visions in my dreams. So this is something that just happens more involuntarily. So what I was going to say right now about the grievance is that I was going to say something about the grievance. There's a process that goes through the grievance, right? There's like a 5-step process when initially you can go through denial, right? You don't want to accept what happened, what you lost. And the reason why I'm saying this is because we're being asked to let go of the old to make room for the new. So it doesn't need to be like literally maybe grieving the loss of someone that passed over, but it can be just the loss of a past lifestyle, a past way of thinking, a past way of being, maybe some sort of habit that was destructive for you that you're needing to let go, you're being asked to let go of. Something of the old that needs to be released so that there can be room to receive the new. It's the only way. And the reason why I said this is because earlier today, I actually sometimes get like into this little rhythm where I just do some deep cleaning, like just when I'm cleaning, like just over the spot, right? Like the maintenance cleaning. If you were to do deep cleaning all around your house in one day, it would just be too much that you can't even finish, right? So I usually like to just do it on random days. And that's how in the whole year, I do the deep cleaning everywhere, right? So today I was emptying out something. It was actually nail polish, okay? I had a lot of old nail polish from like 2 years that I had gathered. And I hadn't been using that because I was getting my nails done ever since, that time. When I started my business, I started getting my nails done outside. So that nail polish already went bad. All of it was bad. It was like not good for painting. Nail polish expires. And I had a whole bag of it. You can say I had like almost 20 nail polishes in there. And I did use them all before, right? Like 2019 passed. But I had to just throw them all away because I wanted to purchase new ones, right? And I know I'm going to purchase new ones. And I have 2 new ones. But now I want to purchase an extra set. So I want to make room for it because it didn't even fit there anymore. The new ones were outside of that bag, which is my nails, all my nail stuff that I have to do my nails, my spa nails, in one little bag. And so I had to just throw them away. And without feeling sorry, without questioning, no doubt about it, it's not even working, so why would I keep it, right? I'm not going to keep it by memory. This is not about hoarding onto things that are not working anymore. That includes relationships, that includes people, right? I'm not talking about family, obviously. People that can come and go, people, friends, and even lovers that are not your spiritual one, come in and out of your life. And that's when you know that that's just something that you need to be let go of. You can't be attached because not everyone's meant to stay in your life forever. Only a couple few. And this is what we're being asked to focus on. Who's going to be loyal with you to the very end? Because that's something about me that maybe you might not know, but I value loyalty to the core. And is why, I've even developed these trust issues, this is some of my healing that I've learned to heal, but I have yet to find someone that is going to be that loyal to me, that will stay with me to the very end. Because the only way that you can actually discern who's going to be loyal to you to the very end is when you're at the bottom of your life, right? When you're already at the top and you have all the success in the world, it's very difficult to find trustworthy people because then there's always something in it for them. There's always something that people want from you. And that's sad, I know. I've met a lot of successful people in my life, and deep at the core, they were lonely, they were sad, they had a missing piece. And it's so sad, it's almost like heartbreaking, to be honest, because I feel that way now. And even though I'm not like yet at the top of where I want to be, right, my dreams, I can say that, a lot of people have been stripped away from my life. Not family, but I'm talking about like friends, co-workers, or any sort of people in my community. And I think that this is the moment where we're starting to find our true soul tribe, people that we will be able to trust for the long haul on this new part of our journey. Again, this is the new cycle, the new chapter to our life. So it's like we're being reborn. We've been reborn in 2021. And now we're starting a whole fresh new cycle. New circle of friends. New circle of work. New way of thinking. New people who you hang around with. Because it's a different energy vibration, different conversations that you'll be having, right? I can't have superficial conversations anymore. For me, it's all about depthness. Because when you awaken on your spiritual journey, your whole life changes. The way that you see things, the way that you see people, Everything that you do in your life has to have an intention and a purpose. Has to be done with purpose, with intention, and with mindfulness. And if not, then you don't see the point, right? And that includes, spending time with a circle of friends who have no direction in their life, dating around who have no sense of vision for what they want in their love life, or what they want for their mission work, how they're going to be of service. This is about collaborating and resonating only with those who are on the same spiritual page as you, because there's just no more time. This is the time now when these people who have been healing, I'm seeing a golden yellow bubble that we're all bubbled in. We're being thrust into this new world, which is going to be full motion. And the portal is going to close to this new world at 11/11, which is November 11th, 2022. And look at all the synchronistic numbers, 11/11 and 22. Because if you add 11/11 in numerology can also translate to 22/22. That would be triple 22, right? 22/22, we're in the year 22. So that's something to think about. All right, so the Magician. This is the moment where we're manifesting. I'm really feeling this ball of energy. You see just what I kind of had a vision of. So I have visions sometimes like this, what I'm saying. And Archangel Raziel is helping us with this, helping us to be clear with our intention, because it's such a sensitive time as well. I feel like this is a very, very sensitive time. We can manifest anything with the blink of an eye. So make sure that your thoughts are positive, right? You can manifest the life you want. What you need will magically appear. Successful beginnings. So stay in your hope, stay in faith, because even though you don't see it right now, trust that it is manifesting behind the scenes, internally first, right? So 10 of Michael, this is the 10 of Swords. This is the end of heartbreak, hard times. It's about time that we be happy, right? And I'm feeling this a lot because, yeah, this is the Sorrow card. It's no more of this. It's just been way too long that people have been in this sad energy, everyone included, even me, as a sensitive empath, I feel this collectively. And ever since 2020, it was peaking, but then 2021 I feel like has been actually the hardest years. Because 2020 for me personally, which does mirror collectively, actually was a very good year of creativity. And even though it was very alone, like hermit, 2020 to 2021 was a hermit years, right? For all of us mostly. But 2020, because we were still in the dark a little bit of what was brewing under the surface, if you want to say politically, worldwide, it was just still the beginning. It was all a surprise. And we had hope that it was going to be over soon, right? We didn't have any expectation of how bad and serious this matter was going to get. So 2020 was a good year because we were all just being awakened to our creative potential, new skills as well that we had just no idea we were capable of. And then 2021, I feel like there was almost a sense of like being let down by the universe, by God, because this whole situation worldwide is not over. It hasn't been over. So a lot of people lost hope. Things got worse. People still continue to pass away. And it almost left us feeling like, where is God in all this, right? But God has not forsaken us. That's a huge one. That's what God said on the cross, right? And right before he died, guess what? He resurrected into his kingdom of heaven. So as soon as things feel like it's only getting worse, and when it gets at its worst, the peak of it, when your ego dies, right? Because he died metaphorically in his flesh only, but not in spirit. And that's what I'm feeling. This is all metaphoric and symbolic right here. The collective has been almost stubborn, right? Jesus was surviving on that cross with 3 nails. And his body, his physical flesh, was almost stubborn to go away because it wasn't his time yet, right? And I feel like that's what people are dealing with. It's almost like they're struggling to let go of that last piece of ego left in their life. And I'm not saying that ego is bad, but in order to really live through your higher self, your ego needs to be transmuted, okay? Because it needs to be transmuted into your higher self living through your physical flesh. And this is the only way to like experience everything high vibration. And it almost sounds too good to be true, but it's not. You can still get work done. You can still have off days, even living through your higher self, right? Ask any master, any monk living on earth. They're not perfect even then, but they are way better off than anyone who's still in their ego, because they choose to just shift their perspective, which is why 99% of the time they're able to live in a Zen mindset. And this is the Zen mindset that's going to help us through. And this is beautiful because this is something that I've been working on, and I've always been channeling this Zen mindset since the year 2020. And I finally mastered it now in the year 2022, end of the year 2021. So it takes time. It takes daily practice. It's not something that can just happen overnight. Because if you still have triggers, that means there's just more healing. You know, I've come to a place in my life where I'm barely triggered. And you know, I know this because when I used to get triggered, when I thought I was not triggered, but then I would get triggered, that's because I obviously wasn't healed 100%. But now looking back, I can see that even then, what's the point, right? Because when you're triggered, I was going to say something. When you're triggered, it's almost like your energy changes, right? You get angry, or you get frustrated, or even you get sad. But then after that trigger kind of dissipates and you get out of that energy, you're like, wow, what a waste of hours or days in that energy when I could have just been in this peace right now. And that's almost like kind of like what the missing piece was in helping me transcend getting triggered anymore. Because I know that anytime that I can possibly get triggered, I know that it's just not worth it. That's almost like what I'm trying to explain, but there's just more depthness to it. That unless you are in this place, it's almost like unexplainable. It just happens now automatically. And of course, we're still human. We're gonna get, it's not that I get triggered, it's just that I'm more just emotional, right? Because again, we're not without emotions, right? Even Jesus had emotions. So we're not stripped of emotions, because that's vulnerability, which is a strength, not a weakness. And it's a blessing, because it's what helps us also relate to the collective. If not, we would be robots. We wouldn't be human if we didn't have emotions, right? But we could learn to master these emotions, especially when you know that you are sensitive and that these are not all yours. There might be the collective, might be energies that you're absorbing, which is why purification, energy protection is just so important. And that's what healing is for. My master healing certificate taught me that as well. That's what I can help you to also learn in your healing session. If this is something that you want to learn, maybe you're having issues or trouble with, I can help you with this. All right, so let's continue. All right, let's get now our angels and ancestors oracle cards. See what the ancestors have to say. So at the bottom, which I think is important, we have the earth guardian, staying grounded, staying down to earth, stay rooted, heart chakra healing as well. So eating a lot of green foods, believe me, it is going to help with your heart chakra. So if you don't eat green foods, maybe, and you have heart chakra issues, then that's your cue. Drink green juice or green vegetables, and maybe you might not like it, right? Because obviously if this is not something a part of your lifestyle, it's because you don't like it. But find ways to like it. Do it for the mission. Do it for your health and wellness, because it's going to make you a better light worker in the end. So there's always ways. That's what my health and wellness brand is for, right? In my holistic nutrition series, I always come with creative, delicious recipes using healthy ingredients and even vegetables as well, right? Making salads that you like. It's all about the dressing. Oh my God, we got the sun. Not making this up, you see the sun card. And this is enjoy success and happiness. This is the powerful sun that's being activated. And under this, I didn't realize I got two cards. We have the eagle, which represents leadership. The eagle is the leader of the bird kingdom, right? See from a higher perspective. This is the third eye chakra as well, helping us to shift a perspective in order to be able to enjoy more success and happiness. Because maybe that's all you need. You know, I've done this with a lot of clients. A lot of times people who are dealing with depression or a bad mood is literally just because they need to shift their perspective. If they will see that situation from a different lens, they realize that actually it's a blessing in disguise, or that there's nothing to worry or fear. So they can be happy. You are free to be happy. That's what the ego teaches us, right? Because the ego represents freedom. And we're being told right now that we are free to be happy. Nothing's stopping you. God wants you to be happy, so why are you not happy? And then the Father Sky. This is God looking down from above, down to us. Trusting the unknown. There's another, wow, there's another ego, and they're matching actually. And they're actually looking at each other. This is the divine unions that are also happening, which is going to bring happiness. Maybe this is also part of the missing piece of the puzzle. These divine unions, divine masculine, right? Which God, Father Sky, is a divine masculine. And Earth, Mother Gaia, is a divine feminine. And bringing these together, oh my God, this is a beautiful message. We have the divine sacred union, which God is blessing, protecting, and wanting to rush to come together almost, because the world needs these spiritual power couples to come together. So we're reaching high mountains right now. Stand your ground. Powerful messages from here. Wow. And then let us end with the Akashic Tarot. And I have another one that I also created, which is past life messages, which you were also going to pull out a few. The Akashic Tarot, let's get a little messages from our ancestors, but also from our past life, maybe patterns that is maybe blocking this union, or maybe some part of our success, some part of our destiny that has yet to play out, because maybe there's something needing to be healed. Caught in the ruins. Maybe feeling trapped someplace. Let's get another message for this. And this is root chakra color. So maybe it has to do with finance, safety, stability issues. Maybe in the world not feeling safe or stable, independent. This is all things that are coming up actually. And it does have to do with the solar plexus too, because these are all very lower chakras, right? We might feel unconfident if our root chakra is not stable. All of the issues related to that. Food, home, shelter, even sex, right? Animalistic instinct. So this is needing to be transcended, to think more spiritually. Tantric sexuality, right? Not fleshy desires, carnal desires that are going to keep you stuck in a place that you do not want to be, right? Yeah, needing to seek more guidance. Another root chakra card. Hilarion. This is the all-wise knowing man. And it was in the reverse. So we're needing more information. Maybe we're still students at this. Maybe some of you are apprentices, which is why you're still almost like locked up. It's almost like a house arrest card, right? Maybe you don't feel free. Maybe you are dependent on someone or something or a job. And it's because you're needing to get more spiritual information about your purpose. Maybe you're still needing to learn how to become a leader. And this is all, you know, plausible reasons for not feeling your best, right? But this is something that you definitely need to now take action towards. Number 5, enough is enough, right? You need to grow up and get out of that. That's almost what I'm feeling like. You need to graduate from this spiritual school that we're all in. At least the people who are in this bubble of awakeness, right? The woke bubble. Fated meeting. There is a fated meeting for these spiritual unions to come, and this is coming. And I'm even feeling like maybe December, because this is like the midnight clock, almost like a Cinderella card. This is spiritual fated meetings, number 7, for the spiritual mission, because in numerology that's what it means. And this is coming after this has been completed. Okay, so this is something that's definitely on our dreams, on our minds. And it is going to be manifested, because that's how the law of attraction works. The more you visualize and think about something and even fantasize about something, eventually it will come to pass, right? It will come to fruition, because it's all over your life, all over your mind, all over this aura, right? Look at this kind of like light around these people. And it is shielded. These are like saints almost. These are saints. And it's almost wedding as well. But it's a very friendly, innocent meeting. And this looks like almost Paris as well. The Queen of Forces. And I did see this card before and it came up, so it's obviously meant to be. The 6 of Waterfall in reverse. I want to look it up. But maybe more purification is needed, more surrender as well, right? And force. This has to do with force, because a waterfall is very forceful. This is water that can seem harmless, but in a waterfall form, it can be very harmful, right? And it's very forceful, has a lot of power to it. So maybe this is what we're needing to gain, more strength and power. Our ability to trust in our abilities. You know, as a master healer, this is what we tap into. It's our own healing ability from within. And this is what we're being asked to work on. Trust in ourselves and what we're meant to be doing here cosmically for God's mission. Very powerful message. So we don't need to look it up. Alright, just needed to get a little readjusted. So this is also maybe a message. There's a readjustment needed. Alright, so this is my past life and archetype oracle deck that I created. It is huge. There's a lot of messages in here. This is sacred to me. I don't take it out usually all the time. This is something that's just very rare, special events, occasions. And I'm really feeling like this full moon in Leo is a special occasion to tap into past life healing, archetypes and patterns that maybe we are needing to be aware of. Look at this, the rescuer, the Samaritan. It does feel like a lot of us maybe are drowning and need saving, but guess what? You can be your own hero. Don't seek for this other person or situation to save you. You got memories, reminiscing a past lover. Now, I feel like this has to do with the spiritual lovers that we just talked about, the faded meaning. This is a past life relationship, which is why it feels so familiar, so strong as a spiritual bond, because we've already known each other in another life. And these are these past memories that are coming up for the surface, like a recognition, a deep soul recognition. And this is also what soul tribes feel like. You feel like you have known them, like you've had some sort of relationship and contract with them in another life. So when you come and meet them in this life, it's almost like you're picking up where you left off, right? And that's a wonderful feeling, because it's like, it feels like home, right? And this is the Mother Nature card, Mother Gaia. You need to ground to this cosmically. This is what we're being awakened to. The divine feminines are feeling this very strongly during these times. Now, Leo energy is a divine masculine sign, so they're also being activated. They're being healed at an accelerated level, kind of like stepping up to their masculinity so that they can learn to take care of the divine feminine. And the divine feminine is learning to also empower herself as a sacred divine feminine, right? Because it's not about being submissive, right? But it is about having some sort of control over your life, feeling empowered, and not letting any masculine take advantage of you or control of your life. It's a healthy relationship, a healthy dynamic that is worked on right now. It's being worked on. It's almost like a couples therapy, a spiritual couples therapy, right? Both divine masculine and divine feminines collectively being healed on a different level, like different topics, both going to individual therapy for their own issues, right? Because we don't want that to affect the relationship, which is the combination. Think of two ovals, right? Overlapping. This middle overlapping section is the relationship, and this is the divine feminine and the divine masculine. These two large areas, which is larger than the oval, right, needs to be very healed so that this middle part is healthy, right? Because any taintiness will taint this little area, right? Because it's just so small. And of course, the deeper you go into that relationship, the bigger the oval gets. And the closer these two circles start merging and two souls become one. And that is like the culmination of a spiritual couple. And that's almost like the couple has ascended together. And that's a very beautiful feeling. And that's very rare to achieve in a lifetime as well. Long life, wisdom, storyteller, many lives, old soul. Yeah, we do feel like old souls in this life, right? And look, the hero card came up. But this is almost like there's a shadow aspect to this card, which I'm feeling like is what it is. I'm almost feeling like it says diplomacy, dictator, and oppression. Maybe this is what's happening collectively. but needing to be more compassionate with ourselves, also with our partner, right? Because that's the God card, the Greek God. Kind of like getting down off that high horse. I'm seeing almost like the victory card, the Six of Wands, and becoming more humble. We're all humbled when we get on the journey, right? And this is what this life teaches us. Stay humble. Be compassionate and be of service, because we can relate to people's struggles, people's pains. And we got the Mermaid card, which is water element, submerging. This is the feminine. Okay, this is the divine masculine guidance. More compassion, more humbleness, and being a hero for their divine feminine, which is the mermaid, the central energy, the divine feminine in her essence, surrender to life. So if you have issues with letting go of control, this is your guidance. Learn to let go more. Learn to just surrender and be in the moment, because that's what's more attractive, right, to a divine masculine. And to all of life's gifts as well. When we're in this open heart chakra energy and surrendered, which takes a lot of vulnerability, right? It's almost like being vulnerable and naked. It's almost like the Birth of the Venus painting, right, by Leonardo da Vinci. Oh, sorry. By Leonardo da Vinci, was it? Who made the Birth of Venus? I have it right there, but Botticelli. Like that Birth of Venus painting, she is naked metaphorically, right? Because she's bearing her femininity, the love that she has to give to the world. I'm almost relating that card to the divine feminine. Yeah, and not being afraid, you know, to express our truth. This is not, you know, past in the days when there was persecution. But we have the artist, the sculptor, the inventor, the craftsperson. This is what's going to keep us not distracted, but it's going to keep us on purpose. When we have a creative goal, a project that has a purpose, right? But this is not just about mindless creativity, although that can take you to new heights in art, right? A lot of artists are this way. But it's about having a controlled artistic mind. Don't lose yourself in the art, right? Don't succumb to drugs or alcohol to get creative, because that's not the way either. We want to be divinely inspired naturally. And this is what we're being guided to, just be the artist of our own life, sculpt our future, and be the craftsman of our life, right? Beautiful. And then final message, we have the Buddha here. It's like a monk here in a Zen garden. What a beautiful message. Tibetan Buddhist. Maybe look into that. This is something one of my spiritual gatherings talks are about, which have been paused, but they will resume. It's part of my School of Light membership. And this is where we bring in more of that knowledge and wisdom and education on Buddha talk, right? How the world came to be. And we go into also Buddhism as well. And not religion, but just more of like the way of life, the philosophy. Because it is one of the oldest religions ever. Of the 5 top ancient religions, Egyptian is there, and so is Buddhism, and Jewish, which is where Jesus descended from, right? So medicine, so healing medicine, and I would also say holistic medicine, right? Natural medicine, not lab-made medicine. Pilgrims, so this is where we're also being asked to be missionaries. We're traveling a lot. People are being called to travel, because our light is needed around the world. Settler, explorer, pioneer. We're being asked to explore what else can be available to our life. Don't stay stuck in the same, right? We're getting visions of the future. And Aquarius energy, the rebel. And we got the elephant, which is kind of like the female leader, right? The mother energy. And I feel like this is almost like also, it looks like a competition, it looks like a struggle between the divine masculine and divine feminine. But I feel like there is nothing to struggle, because when they come together, they realize they can work together, right? So that's kind of like another message. But this is Aquarian energy here, right? Thinking outside the box. And interesting that he's pushing the elephant's third eye. You see, we're being asked to kind of push our third eye, which is a great exercise, and think outside the box, otherworldly. And finally, the princess card. I did do a princess photo shoot, which I will be posting, but this is what I'm feeling, you know. We are being guided by angels, divine guidance. We have guardian angels around us, divine messengers everywhere. Living beings of light walking among us on earth. Princess, sweet innocence. This is where we're being asked to return to. This innocence that we had when we were young. When we were untainted. When we were uncorrupted. Patiently awaiting her Prince Charming. Expecting others to do for her, which could be one of the shadow aspects, right? Learning to be more independent, to do things on your own. Dormant potential, right? Awakening our potential is what we're being guided, because that would be a shadow aspect. And lack of inner power, we're being asked to ignite our confidence and realize that the power and strength is within us. It needs to be fired up from our solar plexus, from our sacral chakra, which brings from passion, creativity, sexual energy, transmuted into creativity, and from our root chakra, knowing that it's safe to be ourselves, to express who we really are inside, the real us. And this is going to take us very far in this life. And that's our reading for today. I was going to bring other cards. I think I will actually. I know we're kind of tight on time, but I'll be right back. Alright, so I have been waiting to bring in these two cards. This is a card deck that I actually bought last weekend at the Conscious Life Expo, which I went to in Los Angeles, California. A great experience that I will be repeating every year. And I met this woman, a very beautiful soul. Her name is Ellie, and she created this deck and she was selling it. So of course I had to buy it because the artwork is just so beautiful, and just the title of it told me that these messages inside were just going to be so powerful. Your heart knows the way. This is definitely a divine feminine oracle deck, which is why I want to bring this in, because I feel like the divine feminines out there can definitely use a little extra guidance. All of the artwork in here are divine feminines, so beautiful. I use these usually on my own whenever I feel like I need that extra guidance. And I know that today, when we're in a pool one, is going to be just so beautiful. So let's see what card we have for today. Alright, it's beautiful gold deck, how I made mine as well. Let's see what message is going to come today. Let us read intuitively today. Just look at the artwork. And she told me as well a little story about how she created this deck, and it was also through solitude and taking a hermit journey in her life. Like, she just traveled to Canada for like 2 years, she said, and that's where she started to come up with these inspirations. And that's almost like mirroring what happened in my life, right? These past 2 years have been like absolutely hermit, and I feel like a lot of you out there also probably went through that, and it has only been to create something beautiful. I mean, just look at this, right? So this is a symbolic message today, that whatever it is that you were thinking about preparing or experimenting with during these 2 years is going to be something beautiful. And depending on how large that project, might take a little longer or not to manifest. So no rush. Look at this. We got the word compassion again. Compassion is your freedom. I haven't gotten this one up before. This is the number 16 card. This is about having compassion with ourselves. You know, and you know, more purification I'm feeling, because I almost feel like that's a beautiful white gown, but I also feel like it's almost like a towel, right? Which is like having those cleansing rituals, even like those spa days. Your heart can break. This is a card that's been coming up a lot. Heartbreak, heart chakra. And when I got a Reiki healing done, when we were doing the training on each other, one of my issues, you can say, that has been healed already, but there's always, you know, little things that come up and resurface. The only thing that was a little needing healing was my heart chakra, because I have been broken in the past, right? And I feel like this is a collective, because we're all dealing with some sort of loss. Allow yourself to shine. You see, we're needing to open ourselves back up and express ourselves freely. Creativity is going to help you. Your passions, it is very healing, believe it or not. When you're doing what you love, a lot of ballet here, you see, which symbolizes freedom of expression. Love is what you are, and this is what we're being guided as divine feminines, to stay in this love essence. Share it with the world, because you never know who is going to be inspired by that, whose life you can change just by being yourself. No needing to be someone who you're not, or trying to force yourself to be, you know, this perfect role model. Simply by being yourself, that is enough. Because believe me that when you share even your struggles along the journey, that can be more inspiring than a master just trying to preach all the time. So yeah, to be is your purpose, to just be in yourself, in your essence, and strip the ego, that mask that many of you divine feminines might be wearing, and just follow your bliss. Spread your angel wings and just fly. Number 7, and this has to do with our spiritual purpose. This is the only thing that's really going to bring us freedom and true liberation. So remove anything that is ego driven. You see a lot of root chakra here. That root chakra dress, the red dress, is being stripped away, because the color red is related to the root chakra. So if you wear a lot of red, or this is a color that really stands out for you, you might be very stuck in your root chakra, or this might be something that maybe you're working or healing on. And it can also be, you know, a color of protection, but I'm getting more that is related to the root chakra. Kind of like these carnal desires that need to be transmuted. Again, like the birth of Venus, right? She's in her nakedness. And this angel here is in her nakedness. Look at that. Nurture, love, and expand. And she's ascending here finally. This is the number 38 card. So care for yourself, self-love, self-care. And this is the full moon in Leo. Look at this. Beautiful message. This is our final message for today. Our guidance. Nurture yourself. Self-care, self-love. You might want to check out my women's content in my Spiritual Counseling TV network. There is a woman empowerment forum show series where we go into women's history. But my latest show is the Women's Cozy Talk, where we go more into like deep, intimate topics for women. And the last 2 episodes are actually self-worth and self-love, which I know that a lot of you can benefit from listening. And even self-care comes in. And we do bring up dating as well for single women out there. But that's a show that you definitely don't want to miss. And it is an exclusive show, so you do need to become a member of my Spiritual Counseling TV network. So go to christianramirez.com/TV to learn more today. And then finally, this is my other favorite deck that I got for the new year. And I did use it for the special event at the TV network. So if you want access to that event, you will get access when you are a member. The Saints and Mystics. This is a beautiful oracle deck as well. And we're going to get a guidance from one saint or mystic that wants to come. And I remember explaining what the difference between a saint and a mystic is, but I will re-explain depending on who we get, all right? Because this is a deck that I do like to read, because it gives like some history into it. Wow, Saint Anthony. Reclaim. This is about reclaiming our power. And it is a full sun in the back. Could also be a full moon. So this is the saint. He's a saint that wants to come to us today. And he's a very beautiful saint. Right? Alright. Let's see. And it's the number 1 card. So a saint is a person acknowledged as holy or virtuous and regarded in Christian faith as being in heaven after death. Also can be a very virtuous, kind, or patient person. And a mystic is different. A person who seeks by contemplation and self-surrender to obtain unity with or absorption into the deity or the absolute, or who believes in the spiritual apprehension of truths that are beyond the intellect. So many scientists fall into this category, like Einstein. Isaac Newton is actually in this deck. He's a mystic, right? So Saint Anthony is a saint that wants to speak to us today. Number 1, he is the patron saint of lost articles and hidden secrets, very related to the past life healing that we were talking about. And his feast day is June 13th, so this might be a significant date, which I did mention, right, leading up to summer. His invocation says, what seems is lost, I come to find. With Saint Anthony's aid, crossed ties unbind. So Portuguese-born Saint Anthony of Padua, Italy, was a Catholic priest and friar of the Franciscan order during the 13th century. Anthony worked closely with Saint Francis of Assisi, and like Francis, is known for his fierce protective nature for the vulnerable, particularly children and the poor. Saint Anthony reminds you to not shy away from difficult challenges, and is working from the spirit world to locate and bring back that which has been stolen or lost. He aids tirelessly, restoring energy to those who have lost memories, passion, and power, and is extremely diligent in working on missing person cases. Emotionally, Saint Anthony pulls us up from deep slumber and encourages the spirit to move with purpose and passion. So pray to Saint Anthony if this is something that you're needing help with. Spiritually, Saint Anthony activates and magnifies the third eye, chakra, to see through distractions and false visions. Couldn't be a more perfect message for today. Everything that I just said, right? He also works on the feet and hand chakras to allow his energy to move between the physical and psychic worlds and bring clarity and resolutions to light, while also keeping you grounded, right? You can be very spiritually high, but you still need to be grounded. Anthony calls back lost fragments of your energies that have been torn, pulled, or lost during your day and throughout your life, and reintegrates them softly back into your luminous energy field again. And then consciously, be it physical, psychic, emotional, or otherwise, St. Anthony reminds us that all that seems lost can be replaced by something greater than imagined or found again in divine time. So when you think you lost something, you really didn't. It's a blessing in disguise. When petitioning, because there's something better out there for you, right? When petitioning to St. Anthony, remember not to offer or drink alcohol, not offer coins either, remembering his vows of poverty. He accepts bread, candles, incense, and white flower lilies. He also comes through to aid insomniacs to find peaceful sleep. So if you're dealing with sleep issues, St. Anthony is the saint to go and pray to, and soothe this nervous energy in the body. So if you're dealing with anxiety, panic attacks, he does not aid those who aim to steal and cannot be invoked to harm others, obviously, right? St. Anthony of Padua is a generous spirit and will answer petitions and prayers from everyone. However, his patronage extends closely to orphans, the elderly, job seekers, shop owners, people of indigenous heritage, and spiritual seekers, which includes all of us, right? So thank you, St. Anthony, for showing up with us today. So that is how we're going to be concluding today's spiritual talk. I'm going to be setting up for our Sambo healing session, and we'll get started in just a few. Hello my soul family, welcome to our Sambo healing session today for this full moon in Leo in February 2022. My name is Christy Ramirez and I'm your health and wellness expert. So let us tune in and let us center and ground our energy by taking a deep inhale. Hold it for 5 seconds. And exhale through your nose. Now repeat that 2 more times to just clear the energy, clear your mind. Now, this is a simple breathing tool that you can be used at any time of the day. I know that a lot of us lead stressful lives, but we're being asked to shift our perspective about stress, because life is not to be stressful, right? And with this full moon in Leo, being that we are being asked to achieve, be achievers, right? Be the lion of the kingdom, the lioness of our kingdom, the king and the queen. All of this comes with responsibility, a lot of hard work, a lot of showing up. And all of this can create stress if you're not prepared. So this simple breathing tool can actually help us to recenter amidst any stress, and then shift our perspective and realize that it's not stressful, because we are enjoying what we're doing, and we're doing it with grace, right? And we're doing it with intention, with mindfulness. So even though you have a lot of things to do on your schedule for the day, everything can be done one thing at a time, one breath at a time. And that is it, right? One thing at a time. That is our main guidance for today. So let us begin by doing our healing session. I'm going to put this on my lap. I want you to all close your eyes and just receive this sound frequency that's going to grow. Think of it like a gold and white light, a white bubble around you, and then encircling that white bubble around your aura is a golden light. And we are shielded into this healing process that's going to happen right now. And we receive this. We also receive blessings from the universe. We receive this abundance, these new beginnings, these new surprises that will be coming out of nowhere to make us happy. Because happiness is our goal right now. And everything in our life is related to that. Our health state, love, our relationships with friends and family, our relationships with self, our relationship with the community, with the people, our mission, how we are of service, our purpose, our goals, what we do for a living, what we do on a daily basis, what we think about. All of these things determine our happiness, right? Our health state, I did say that. But that's important, because how you're sleeping is an important one. How you're eating, how you're feeling, which is wellness, right? How you're breathing, which meditation can help you to breathe deeper and better and more efficient. And then how well your chakras are aligned, which is what yoga is for. So if you want access to my meditation and yoga series, there's a current sale right now where you can get access to the whole health and wellness bundle, which will also include the holistic nutrition series and my forum, which includes the blog that I write. All of that for only $4.99, and this is a sale that will continue to run the whole year. I always run sales the whole year, but that is going to be the average price. So take advantage, because that's a very low price, right? For all 4 memberships, that is very, very much like a gift. So let us close our eyes and let us just listen. Put a smile on your face as well, because even though you might not be at your ultimate happiness, we affirm and we attract this by just smiling, no matter what's happening. Let us have more confidence as well in our abilities. I think this is lacking in many people who have a lot of potential. You need to believe in yourself. No one's going to do it for you. You might have people who see the potential in you, but you're the only one who can bring it out of you. That's when you know you're in a deep meditative trance. Like your brain feels light. Like you're floating above water. Like you're amidst your thoughts. You're in the clouds. Allow your soul to heal, to cleanse, and to purify right feel light, positivity, good high vibrations, good energy, high vibes. So this is how we're going to conclude today's Sambo healing session. And the reason why it's so short and sweet is actually because there's no more memory on my camera. But this is a message. Know when to replenish. Know when to recharge your batteries. Feel guiltless in the process. And take care of yourself today and for the rest of your life. Have an amazing and beautiful full moon in Leo. My name is Christy Ramirez and I'm your health and wellness expert. Namaste.